Hello everyone, video number 2 for the day. So if you didn't know already and this is the first one you're watching, please go back to the channel and check out the first video of the day. That is the one about the game against Leyton Orient today, 3 PM UK time, which you can watch on Spurs TV. So welcome back to Speaking Spurs with me, Kieran, talking all things Tottenham. And this is another transfer update because there are going to be so many links constantly through this summer because of that man Paratici that likes to line up the world and his mate and then just pick one from each position. So let's start with the weirdest one, and this is from ESPN. Now they actually released 2 statements that are very conflicting. One of them is a complete waste of paper and time, and I hope ESPN just sack this guy. So they were saying that Tottenham would like to do a swap deal with Lyon. Tanguy and Ndombele out the door for Houssem Aouar, who we spoke about the other day. Aouar, a very good player, had a good relationship with Tanguy and Ndombele, but Lyon want like 26.5 million for him. So why would we let a player that cost us over 60 million, our record transfer, go out the door and swap him for a player of like 20-something million? That makes no sense whatsoever. So whoever you are that wrote that article, I didn't read the name because it was just a waste of my time. I just literally saw the link and thought, oh my goodness, how have you still got a job? Like, what college or university did you go to that taught you how to be a journalist? It's just pure fiction. There's no chance. The only way that deal would happen is if Tanguy was going one way, Aouar was coming the other, but they were offering us a massive chunk of money as well. They'd have to give us like 35 million for that one to make sense. However, Tanguy is such a talent, and I would love to see Nuno work with him and get him playing the way we know he can. You know, because when fit, when on form, Tanguy is deadly. He is insane. His footwork is unreal. His passing ability, lovely. Watching him turn players for fun, oh my God. So I think that one's a load of rubbish. But however, in contrast, another one from ESPN, they want to reunite Tanguy and Aouar. That one makes more sense to me. However, for this one to happen, there's going to have to, be some players go out the squad. Obviously, Sissoko is a possibility to go out. Well, we want him to go out the door. Lamela, Lucas Moura will be allowed to go if the right money comes in, but if not, I think they're very happy for him to stay. Look, Gio's just won the Copa America and he's young. I don't think we'll see him go out the door. Sonny's obviously going nowhere. That would be stupid. So yeah, we'd have to move on Erik Lamela and Sissoko for that one to happen. And obviously it's a foreign player for foreign player, so makes it, you never know, we could offer a Moussa Sissoko and do a swap deal on that. I mean, they're not going to go for it. It'd have to be Sissoko plus cash, but win-win. Right, what we got from the Metro? They claim Nuno wants his former player, Willy Boly, who is a centre-back from Wolves, 30 years old. Now, that's the concern for me, his age. We're not going to have him for very long, so it would a lot of it would come down to the fee that they're asking for. But look, he's an Ivory Coast international. He's got 138 appearances for Wolves. He would have more, apart from the injuries that he sustained last season, which kept him out of the squad for large parts of the season. So, look, he's a decent defender. I think they initially took him on loan from Porto and then decided to sign him. But look, he is a good player. Is he somebody that I'm excited about? No, especially with some of the other centre-backs that we've been linked with. And he's 30. So it'd have to be a very cheap deal for us to take him in. Considering if Toby doesn't go, he's already old as well. It feels so weird calling these players old when I'm sitting there and I'm 32, but I consider myself young. In terms of football, they're old. Okay? They are grandpas of football. But what else? Oh, the same report also claims that Nuno is interested in Daniel Podence. So he's an attacking midfielder for Wolves. He had some eye-catching performances in his opening 18 months in England. He's only 25 years old. I mean, he's a decent player. Again, is it someone that gets me really excited? No. But however, we need to remember, Nuno knows these players inside out, and if he thinks they're good enough for Tottenham and better than the players we've already got, then chances are he's right. And that will come down to his system. He'll know what players that he's worked with in the past will suit his system and whether they can integrate into our current squad. So we'll see how that one progresses. But then again, we're just going to be linked with his former players anyway. Jack Clarke. So I spoke about him possibly getting loan moves away. There's a lot of interest from Championship clubs. There's been some interest from, I think it might have been Anderlecht. Definitely a Belgian club was interested in taking him on loan. Apparently he wants to stay and fight for his place. So he did this under Mourinho as well. He actually spent the first part of the season with us and then went out on loan in January. He just couldn't break into the squad, made some cup appearances for us. So he wants to do the same again. He wants to give it a go. And look, as I've said, I don't think he fits Tottenham. However, I appreciate the determination and the fact that he wants to stay and fight. Look, that some players are just quite happy to go out on loan because they just want to play football. And I'm sure he does want to play football, but I admire his gusto and the fact that he's willing to essentially hold back his career to prove that he deserves a place at Tottenham. So good luck to him. Don't think it will happen because he's going to be up against Steven Bergwijn and possibly Lucas Moura, depending on where Nuno sees Lucas Moura playing. But good luck to the lad. What else have we got? The Athletic say we are keen on signing Roma captain and midfielder Lorenzo Pellegrini. I mean, I wouldn't complain if we managed to bring him in. He's a fantastic player. Come through the youth setup at Roma. However, if we want him, we will have to trigger the release clause, which is 26.5 million. Look, he's only 25 years old. He's an international. He would have been at the Euros and no doubt one of their stars, if not for an injury. So he was selected for the squad, then got injured, so wasn't able to go. Look, fantastic player. Would I like to see him in a Spurs shirt? Yes, I would. Obviously, captain of Roma, which means it will be another leader within our team. So if we can keep Harry Kane, you look at it, we've got a leader in Hugo. We'd have a leader in Højbjerg, a leader in Harry Kane, and then a leader in Pellegrini. That's a minimum of 4 leaders. So that's the spine of your team sorted. Will it happen? Not too sure. Will he want to come to Spurs? Look, if nobody else comes in for him in a Europa League or Champions League spot, possibly, because Roma are in the same competition as us. So the lure of Premier League football might be enough for him. We'll see how that one develops, though. This one was interesting. If we fail, as we always do with strikers, if we fail to get someone in the door that we really want as backup to Harry Kane, there is a possibility that Nuno will look to have them play as a 2. Now, this isn't Dele Alli playing as an out-and-out striker. It would be him as like an auxiliary striker. We've seen in the past that they can work together really well. At times they were telepathic, way before the Son and Kane partnership formed. But if Dele Alli can hit his form again, there is no reason why they can't work together, because as we've seen, even since their partnership has kind of dwindled, Harry Kane drops further and further back. Dele Alli loves to make late runs into the box. Now, if we can get him working with Harry Kane and Heung-min Son, that'd be a dream come true, because you've then got the ability of Harry Kane lofting his balls over the top or playing through balls to Dele Alli, or if not, linking up with Sonny out wide, and then we have Dele Alli arriving in the box, because there's a lot of times where Harry will play a ball out wide, but he's so deep he then can't he then can't join the attack in time, which means we have to hold up play and we lose momentum. Whereas, plays the ball out wide, Dele Alli's bursting into the box, we can get quick balls in. Now, Dele Alli is taller than he looks. He's stronger than he looks. We know he can be deadly in the air. It could potentially work. I mean, obviously, I'd rather bring in a striker, but if we're going to get the Dele Alli of old, then maybe it's worth a look at. What else? One that, we're linked with every season, and a lot of teams are, Wilfried Zaha. It's a bit like Leandro Damião, isn't it? The Brazilian striker that we were linked to all the time. Wilfried Zaha, we are linked with every single transfer window. Is he somebody that I would like to see at Spurs? Normally, I would have said no. However, I think in a Nuno team, yes. Look, he's a talented player. He has an eye for goal. Our fans don't particularly like him And that is why I would want him. We don't like him because we don't enjoy him playing against us. Now, that is a player you want on your team. I think if he come to Spurs, he'd be well loved. I think he could fulfill his potential at Spurs with players around him like Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, Dele Alli, Lucas Moura, Tanguy and Ndombele. I think he'd work really, really well. Is it going to happen? Probably not, because it hasn't so far. Will he go to Everton? Probably not. Chances are he'll end up stuck at Palace again. Moving on. Apparently we have bid for Pierluigi Gollini. So he's that goalkeeper I spoke to you about before, 26-year-old from Atalanta. Obviously had a spell with Aston Villa in the Championship that didn't go too well. And looking back, I didn't realise in his youth career, he was actually at Manchester United for a couple of years. I think it was 2012 to 2014. Was it? Yeah, I think it was that. Look, good goalkeeper. Decent age as well. He's got plenty of years left in him. So yes, apparently we've bid for him, and it's close to 20 million that we've bid. There's plenty of teams looking at him. But if Hugo's going to stay, does he want to come in and be backup? I don't think so. I think if he's looking at a move, he's going to want to be first choice goalkeeper from the off. Also, Tony Martin claims that we have bid £35 million for Dusan Vlahovic of Fiorentina. So that is the attacker. I've spoken about him before. Fantastic talent. However, that's been rejected. They want closer to 60 million euros, which is about £51 million. Although Transfer Tavern have claimed that Vlahovic has expressed that he really, really, really wants to come to Spurs. So as the window goes on, if we can't do a deal for Danny Ings, which looks like it could be unlikely because Southampton don't want to work with us. They hate Daniel Levy. So do most people that have negotiated with him. It's like getting blood out of a stone. So Vlahovic could be a real possibility. Obviously, the fee's going to have to increase, which means we're going to need some funds from selling. Sam Johnstone is another goalkeeper link. Obviously had a fantastic season with West Brom last year, despite the fact they got relegated. Was called up to the squad for the Euros. I've watched him train with England. They do all their videos and the goalkeeper training. He looks very impressive, very composed. I do like the look of him. Very vocal, has good pedigree. West Ham apparently did put a 6 million bid in for him, which was rejected. I don't know what fee West Brom are looking for, but I mean, 6 million is cheap, and of course they're going to turn it down. I think they're going to be looking closer to the 15 million mark. I think he's 28. So that is why you're not going to see like a 25, 30 million pound bid go in. A random little link, which I don't think there's too much in it. Apparently we are interested in Todd Cantwell. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if there was interest in Todd Cantwell, or that we've looked at him at least. I watched him a lot last season for Norwich. Obviously, Skippy was on loan there and had a fantastic season, which meant I watched way more games of Norwich's than I would normally. I enjoy watching the Championship. It's very competitive. You get some high-scoring games. But yeah, I watched a lot of Norwich last season. And even when they're in the Premier League, Todd Cantwell obviously coming through. I like him. He's very good on the ball. He looks good. He's got good ability. I enjoyed watching him play. The only problem is this whole midfield situation. For this to happen, you need people out the door. And I would argue if he comes in, would Gio have to go? Maybe. And we don't want Gio to go. Like his age, his potential. But obviously Todd Cantwell offers us some homegrown. So, I mean, I wouldn't say no to seeing him, but, you know, there's a problem. Like, there's so many players that you'd be like, I want them to come in, I want them to come in, them. But at the same time, you're like, well, I don't want such and such to have to go out the door for him to come in. And then you end up with way too many players and an unsettled squad. It doesn't work like that. So to bring someone in like him, you might have to see someone that you like walk out the door. El Gol Digital say Arsenal and Spurs have entered the market for RB Leipzig playmaker Dani Olmo. He impressed at the Euros for Spain. I thought he was very good. He's only 23 years old. Fantastic talent. RB Leipzig are a very good team, got a good setup there, lots of fantastic players. So he's used to working with top talent. Yeah, I liked the look of him at the Euros. Again, another one. Will it come to anything? I don't know. But again, Paratici is looking at the world and his mate, so I wouldn't be surprised if we are looking at him. And then moving on to the last two. So Gianluigi Longari of Sport Italia says Serie A clubs are ready to pounce for Erik Lamela as Spurs put him up for sale. So Lamela is contracted till 2022, so he's only got a year left on his contract. Had massive potential. We paid, 30 million for him back in the day with the Gareth Bale money. Should have been a fantastic player for us, can play in multiple positions across the front line. Could have even been a backup striker. Injuries have massively disrupted his Spurs career. Without the injuries, I have no doubts he would have gone on to be one of our best attackers in the time that he's been with the club. He's got some great talent with his feet. He's good at ghosting round players. He's strong. His energy levels. He loves the tackle. Although he's more of a Scholesy in the tackle. They're not always the best. But yeah, he's a player that I very much like. And I don't want to see go. However, it's definitely his time. You know, he's always going to go down as one of those guys that splits opinion. But you can't fault his energy, and I'm not surprised there's a lot of Serie A clubs looking at him. I wish him all the best for the future, but I do think his time is up at Spurs. Now, for the last one, Nikola Milenkovic, who I spoke about in a previous video, apparently we put a bid in, and that has been rejected. So that is it for the transfer roundup. Lots and lots of interesting things in there, and there's going to be more and more over the coming days. Obviously, I will update you as often as I can. Thanks for sticking around for that one. Leave comments below letting me know if any of those players tickle your fancy. I'm really interested to hear your opinions on whether you think any of those will fit in with the system, fit in with the culture of the club. Let me know players that we haven't been linked with yet that you would like to see at the club. So thank you very much. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel, like and comment as always. Enjoy your day, guys. Enjoy the game. Hopefully we'll see some great talent on display today and some good football. And as always, come on you Spurs.